Hi all, welcome to my presentation. I'm going to talk about cloud computing. Cloud computing is an amazing technology altogether. It is also one of the emerging technology. First, I am just going to tell the definition of cloud computing. Cloud computing is a well-known revolution technology in information technology industry because of its performance, accessibility, low cost, and many other luxurious. Cloud services provide both highly availability and parallel computing resources of low cost. Cloud computing is an internet-based network and it is a constructed with a large number of servers and is based on inexpensive, modular, and open standards. Now, if talk about the data storage, it may be any kinds of data servers, MySQL, Cassandra, and it may be different kinds of databases. If I talk about the computing power, it may be a GPU, CPU. If I talk about the server, it may be a physical server or virtual server where we host our entire web application with respect to different kinds of things, rights. Nowadays, you will seeing you will be using Google Drive, you will be using Amazon Prime, Netflix, you will be using AWS, right? So all this actually provide this kind of cloud services. We use a lot, but still many people have the specific confusion now. So I'm going to tell a very small story which will definitely able to understand it is an easy manner. So let's understand that I am in 90s. So and probably want to open the startup. So I really have the small capital amount. So what I do, I hire some people for doing the work now. Suppose initially I just had 5 to 10 people, right? So now to handle all these things with respect to handling these people, what I did that I used to just create registry book. So that registry book where we write, and probably everyday attendance was being taken over there. So if anybody wants to apply for the job, I had to tell them to fill the physical form itself, right? So in that specific way, everything was happening. But one day my company start doing well. Then what I did is then started hiring more people. So now before it, five, then I had 100 peoples now. So after I hired 100 peoples, then again I was using that same format. I was using the same registry trust. So after 12 months, the registry will become very huge and the books will becoming more. So I did not want to handle all these things because it was talking physical spaces over here. So I have to basically keep on. I had actually maintained it. I have to verify it. I do a lot of things, right? So I did not want to do so I did not want to, I move into the most technological side. Instead of maintaining the registry, I bought some databases instead of like, suppose if you have hired something that have to apply it from some web application. So I hosted a new applications into the server. So all these server databases, the computing power, what I did is that I bought it and kept it within my premises. So this system is called on-premise system, right? So where probably I want to put all my servers within the office space itself, I want to buy the database also. So tomorrow I hire some more people. So what I have to additionally do, I have to additionally buy more servers and I have to additionally buy more databases, right? So for the storage purposes. So next we will see about architecture of cloud computing. So this architecture is divided into three phases: infrastructure as a services, platform as a services, and software as a services. First thing is that you can basically create a server on premises. On premises is basically means you have your office, you set up the complete server, you take a part of the data. You take care of the runtime middleware, operating system, server, and a lot of stuff. Okay, so this basically means that you are taking care of the complete server in your own premises. So second technology something is called as infrastructure as a services. So let me give some example of which type of cloud platform provide us infrastructure as a services. That most famous platform is basically AWS. The other one is Azure. So in this work, you will be divided between the AWS people and then company people. So what happened is that the application part, data part, runtime part, operating system part will be taken by us. That basically means whenever they are providing the infrastructure of that, what we do is, what we are creating the cloud environment over there, we need to tell which operating system I want. What is the runtime of the OS and the application we are creating it and how we deploy that application. This all part of the application part will be, so we'll be having the responsibility to create it. The data part also it will be having the responsibility to create it. So whenever you want to create the cloud instance deployment, so basically instance in the cloud of AWS or which just like a infrastructure as a services, you need to select what is a runtime and what is operating system, and you have to either run or whole code in your run your applications into other things like the server storage networking and other details will be basically handled by the AWS itself. So this is handled by the AWS. So this part by us who are developing working for the specific company. So now the second part is the platform as a services. That is most interesting part. All these things that you have to like runtime OS, server, storage, networking, everything will be handled by the platform as a services. So by the company who's providing this particular feature as a platform as a services. Okay. So only some of the features like applications and data part that I am creating a machine learning based model. I have to data, that particular data is deployed it in some kind of the repository. So from that repository, if I push into the platform as a services, this will automatically run. So I don't have worried about what runtime and I have to select what OS operating systems. I have to select how scalability to make so I will automatically be scaled up and based on the scaling factor, it will cost and it will charge you. Next thing is software as a services. So software as a services is a model for which applications are hosted as services for the customers who access it in the internet. So when the software is hosted offsite, the customer does not have to maintain or support it. On the other hand, it is out of the customer hand when the hosting services decided to change it. So all the infrastructure, platform, software utilize all supported and provided by the provider. So user can access to serve services based applications via the different devices and interfaces as thin clients and network browsers. So there are only some limited configuration authorities. So over the service based application that can be made by user. Thank you for watching. Thank you.